back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist, and today we're going to have a look at Taylor Swift's piano skills. Now, before all the Swifties start the hate in the comments, I just wanted to say I'm also a Taylor Swift fan. Maybe not like a hardcore fan, but I do enjoy her music. Probably I'm listening to it more in my free time than to Chopin. I have huge respect for her for not only being a great artist, but also for being a really intelligent businesswoman and building up such a big business around her. So please note, this is no hate video against Taylor Swift or anything in this direction. I'm not going to talk about her singing skills because I don't know anything about singing. I'm not going to talk about her style because I actually like her style, and I'm not going to talk about her as a person because I don't know her as a person, even though it would be pretty awesome to meet her one day. I am just going to concentrate on her piano playing, therefore I analyzed a couple of videos that were showing her playing piano. I'll break down 3 things that she's doing really well and 3 things that I think she could improve. And maybe you'll see yourself doing similar mistakes at the piano just like Taylor, and hopefully this video can help you to improve your skills as well. At the end of the video, I'm going to rank her between 1 and 10, 10 being a very well-trained pianist. Let me know in the comments which of these mistakes you found yourself doing as well, and also which songs by Taylor Swift are your favorites. Now, before we jump into the video, here comes a little concert announcement. I'm going to play a crazy program, Chopin Etudes Opus 10 and Opus 25 at Gewandhaus in Leipzig on the 13th of January 2024. This is a program that you would usually not hear so often being played live because honestly, it's just a crazy marathon for the pianist, and like every time I play this program, I'm completely destroyed afterwards. So if you don't want to miss this, check out the links for tickets and info in the description box. After the concert, like always, there will be a little meet and greet with selling and signing CDs. I'll be very happy to see you there. Before we jump into all the details, I want to give Taylor Swift a big compliment for actually performing piano live on stage. It's probably already difficult enough to just perform and sing and entertain a big crowd just by doing this, but playing the piano on top is adding so much more stress and complexity to her performance. And for not being a professionally trained pianist, I think she's doing a great job. Now, let's have a look at all the things that she's actually doing really well at the piano. Most of the time you can see her knuckles sticking out while she's playing, which is a good sign for a pretty stable hand. This will give you lots of support and depth in your sound, but also it's going to help you to push down the keys simultaneously, which is very important in her case because she's playing mainly chords. So by having a stable hand, you're increasing the overall control that you have at the piano. I see many people that have less stability in their hand, and what happens when they're pressing chords is that the hammers lift up not perfectly simultaneously, which means that we don't hear the chord as a chord, but more like a wibbly wobbly thing. So basically the sound is just not very synchronized and it's not going to sound very crisp. Most of the time you can also see that when she's playing, the fingers that she's not using are just resting on the keyboard, which is great. Often you see people raising especially their pinky, but also the 4th finger, the ring finger, while they are playing, which is adding lots of tension in your hand and you're losing lots of energy while you're playing. The result is that your hand gets very tired very fast, and also sometimes it starts hurting. Something that many people tend to forget is the pedal. And I have to give Taylor some extra points here because her pedal is clean. Remember, the pedal is mainly controlled by your ears and not your foot. And I think it must be so much more difficult to have like a shouting and screaming crowd around you, to just listen to your own playing and then also to hear if you have too much or too less pedal. So she's definitely going to get some extra points here. As I've already mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is no hate against Taylor Swift or anything in this direction. This is simply an analysis of her playing, and since she is not a professionally trained pianist, she obviously can't know everything about piano playing, which is totally fine and it doesn't make her performances any less great. However, I think it's a great possibility to show you guys what could be improved, and maybe you'll find yourself doing the same mistakes, and hopefully you can improve your own piano playing through this. We'll start with one of the basics but very important things at the piano, which is the sitting position. In most of the videos you can see how Taylor is sitting quite close to the piano. It appears to me that she's used to sit this way, however it could also be the position of the mic that makes her sit so close to the piano. I would advise her to sit a little bit far away from the keyboard so you have more space to move and also to breathe. Breathing is not only important to get the max out of your voice, but also what many people forget is that breathing is very important when it comes comes to playing piano. Breathing will help you to relax and stay in the flow of the music. I won't go into all the details of the benefits of breathing correctly, but if you are interested to learn more about it, I did a video that you'll find up here. The sitting position is also helping you to move more freely, which is another point that I would like to address in her playing. You can see how Taylor's elbows are most of the time sticking very close to her body throughout her performances. This is something that I also see a lot with my students. But what happens when you're keeping your elbows close? Well, first of all, you are limiting your movement, and this means you're limiting your sound quality and the sound colors. Now, in most of her performances, she's not using a real acoustic piano, but a digital piano. In these cases, the movements are not going to make a huge difference, but the movements are not only helping you to create a better sound, but also it helps you to stay in the flow of the music. What you can also see is that the movements of Taylor are very vertical towards the keyboard, which makes the sound very harsh and direct. However, when she's singing very soft and lyrical, I would expect the piano sound to support this kind of feeling. This you can achieve by adding more horizontal movements and create a circular movement. And therefore you just simply need to move your elbows, but always remember to move away from the body and never into the body. The wrist is one of the most important body parts when it comes to playing piano. The better you know how to use your wrist, the more control you'll have over the sound. In Taylor's case, I can see that she's not using her wrist so much yet. For example, her left wrist is most of the time just staying in a high position. What happens is that she's mainly pushing the key through her arm instead of the wrist, and by doing this, you're raising your shoulder most of the time, which is just adding more tension in your body. Instead of doing this, I would advise her to experiment a little bit to figure out how flexible her wrists are and how different the sound can be by using different positions of your wrist. This goes actually hand in hand with the point that I explained before, because the wrist movements are going to support the circular movements of your arm. Okay, after analyzing all these points, I would rank Taylor's piano skills on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being a very well-trained pianist. I would rank her on a 6, but because I'm a big fan of her, I'll give her 1 plus point, so 7. If you want to know how good Kate Middleton can play piano, I made a video some time ago where I break down her piano skills, which you'll find here. Let me know in the comments which celebrity you want me to analyze next. See you in the next videos and see you in Leipzig. Bye.